Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This particular video is about what kind of questions you can expect in NID which are apart from your reasoning or apart from your typical GK, is something which is very common sense based. So like last time I discussed about this fidget toy. Now imagine this toy is given as a reference, and since it's very sensational toy for this year, there can be a question around this toy. Okay, now what kind of questions you can expect? So I'll give you some hints regarding what kind of questions you can prepare, what kind of questions to expect. So imagine this is a fidget spinner that you are given in an exam. Now the question can be like, design 5 uses of this particular toy apart from playing. So apart from fidgeting, what else can be an application for this particular fidget spinner? Now it can be an application like, you can keep something on this platform and make it rotate like this. It can be something where you can use these holes to create a circle kind of geometry. It can be something where you can, using these holes to create a 3-axis hook for something or anything like that. So you need to think from that angle. I am covering this thing because this kind of questions will not be covered in any GK book. These kind of questions are purely logic based, and this is a common sense logic. Or for example, a question like, what if I remove one of the weights? What will happen to this toy then? What will be the motion of this toy? Or it can be a question like, what can you do to make this toy unusable? Unusable means you don't need to break it exactly, you just need to do a minor change in that particular product. So somebody will say, I'll put some Fevicol into it so that it cannot move or it cannot rotate freely. Somebody will say, I will try to bend these edges so it will not move or it will not be that smooth, or anything can be done. So these kind of questions you should prepare, you should be aware of, and keep thinking about such questions on a day-to-day basis. Whatever you see around you on a day-to-day basis, most of the questions will be around those topics, those products, those news only. But the approach of the question will be such that it will test your common sense, your logic, your reasoning, and your basic understanding of product and material. It can be a question like, what if I remove all the 3 weights? Will it increase the speed of the fidget spinner or will it decrease the speed of the fidget spinner? So an application like this where I have removed all the 3 weights. Now what will happen? Will it rotate for the same time? Will it spin for the same time, or will the spin time increase or decrease? Right? Or it can be a question like, if I remove this iron weight and replace it with silver weight or gold weight, then what will happen? What will happen in the variation of speed of that fidget spinner? So questions will be something which is purely based on simple logic, which is based on simple fundamentals of science that you have studied till your schooling. Or it can be a question where you are forced to think in a different tangent, in a different aspect. So if it's a toy for the common man, then what can it be extra for a designer? How can you use this particular toy or this particular geometry in multiple use cases? Suppose you are given 10 different fidget spinners which are not spinning, which are like broken, or which doesn't have that inner ball bearing. So what can you build out of those broken fidget spinners or those useless fidget spinner? Or some question can be like, this fidget spinner company is producing these toys, but 10% of each manufacturing lot is getting rejected because of the quality or something like that. So suppose you are given just this frame and the weights are not included in this. Now what can you make using just this frame? Right? So these kind of questions can be there. It can be a very different experience. It can be a very intimidating experience if you are not mentally ready for these challenges. So I thought of making a video about it, and like this, keep exploring different products in and around you which are typically famous or which are generally talked about in your day-to-day scenario, and try to think it from a slightly different angle, like how those things can be used in a different context. Or there can be a question like, what if I increase the size of this particular thing by 5 times or 10 times? Then what will happen? What can you make out of this particular thing if I increase the size by 5 times, right? So be ready for these kind of questions also, and practice with some sketches, practice with some 3D products, practice such questions with creating a prototype if you have this, and yeah, enjoy the preparation. Okay, so that's what, guys. Think about things from all the angles and be ready for all sorts of questions. Okay, so with this, I would like to end this video. Till then, bye bye, take care, see you in the next one.